Before we get into sort of the new news of what's happening with the Panthers, possible transactions, you were there at the game. Give me a recap. What did you see? What stuck out to you from last night's game?
Hey Nick, good morning. And listen, when you watch those preseason finales, you really have to watch deep onto the roster. So we're watching how the receiver room played out. Bryson Tremaine, a younger receiver who the Panthers picked up this offseason, did not play. And after the game, Dave Canales said that he thought he had a good chance to make the roster. Well, Dave Canales basically decides who makes the roster. So to hear him say that was very interesting and makes me lean towards Bryson Tremaine being one of the receivers that sticks around on the 53-man roster. Meanwhile, Jimmy Horn Jr., kind of getting some light work out there with the back end of the roster, and that's kind of what we've seen from the sixth round pick out of Colorado, despite his physical tools, despite fans clamoring for him to be on the field right away. When you see it play out like that, it makes you wonder, is he even going to be on the roster? Are they going to put him on the practice squad where he's at risk of being plucked by another team, putting him on their 53-man roster? Also, watching the kicking competition, Dave Canales tried to give each kicker a half. Rookie Ryan Fitzgerald got the first half, and he got an immediate opportunity, nailed a 43-yard field goal, had one of 50 plus last week, hit his extra point, and did a nice job on kickoffs. And with the new kickoff rules, the Panthers are trying to get their kickers to get the ball on the ground because analytics show that when the ball hits the ground, things can happen and turnovers can happen. He did a good job of that too. The veteran Matthew Wright, he really got no opportunities. Dave Canales actually declined to give him a field goal at the end of the game and instead just ran out the clock. So I think when you look at the receiver room, interesting things in terms of who played, who didn't. And then also the kicking competition. I really think the rookie from Florida State, Ryan Fitzgerald, probably has the leg up. But you look across the field and the Steelers have a rookie kicker that went 4 for 4, and he's probably not going to make Pittsburgh's roster because they have Boswell. So it could come from outside the organization as well.
You brought up Jimmy Horn Jr. I was expecting to see him a lot more in the first half. It does make you wonder. He has shown some great things in camp. I've heard great reports. We talked about it too. He looks fast out there, but he's a small guy. It makes you wonder, like, is he going to make the roster?
Well, and the other thing, Nick, is special teams. He
Yeah.
got a couple of cracks at kick return last night in the second half, but fellow rookie and fellow draft classmate Trevor Etienne, the running back, who not only showed some juice in the run game yesterday, he also has been, taking more reps at return than Jimmy Horn Jr., which is, another sign that it's for Dave Canales and his staff. It's about the more you can do, and that's a big emphasis on special teams. So if he's not cracking that top five list of receivers, then he's not cracking the top couple of returners. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out because he has so many physical tools. He just needs to develop them, and he's clearly been working on it. He's with his position coach all the time. Uh, it'd be hard to risk losing him by putting him on the 53 man, the practice squad, where another team can claim him at any time, and if they put him on their 53-man roster. So, be interesting to see how it plays out. But I really think Bryson Tremaine, kind of this unknown guy out of Stanford, has bounced around for a few years, tall guy, big athlete. I think he's on the 53. I mean, and it'll be interesting to see um, what else happens with the receiver room because there's reports this morning that the Vikings are very much interested in trading for Adam Thielen.
Realistic, is this? I know these reports are coming out. There have been rumors for a couple of weeks now, but um, Adam Thielen, I mean, he's been with the Panthers the past couple of seasons. He's a well-liked guy with an organization, a leader within the locker room. It kind of sounds hard to like let a guy like that go.
It is. And listen, everybody thinks the receiver is improved. That's all based on projection. That is all based on Xavier Legette improving. That is all based on Tetiroa McMillan, the rookie first round pick, being in top form right away for Bryce Young. It's based on Hunter Renfro being in Pro Bowl form from 4 or 5 years ago. first week and a half of camp, you said absolutely he is.
Mhm.
Last couple of weeks, slowed by a hamstring injury, played a lot last night with the threes and the fours. Is he that guy again right now to start the season? And Jalen Coker, coming back and improving on a surprise season of many as an undrafted rookie last year. So trading Adam Thielen would take away a security blanket for a quarterback who needs to get off to a good start. But Bryce Young played without Adam Thielen in fits and starts last year and succeeded. And you look at the New Orleans Saints, they gave up a fourth round pick and a future seventh round pick for Devon Vele, a much lesser known commodity than Adam Thielen this week. So you could really operate from a position not only of abundance at the receiver room in a trade scenario, but also looking at the Vikings and their kind of desperation to get a receiver like Thielen back with Jordan Addison suspended, got an injury to another receiver. They need more than just Justin Jefferson, and obviously they have the familiarity there, and the Thielens have a familiarity in Minnesota. So I think it does make sense for both sides, Nick. It's just a matter of what kind of deal can the Panthers get, because you're right. You're not letting Adam Thielen go for nothing. You've got to squeeze the Vikings and let them know that you don't necessarily want to get this guy off your roster, but for the right price, you'll think about it.
I guess that's the name of the game in the NFL. Younger, faster, and Thielen. He's a guy. He's up there. He's been in the league for a while. I mean, his best years are behind him.
Well, he's done a great job here for
Yeah,
3 years. I mean,
yeah,
he doesn't look washed at all. Everybody talks
yeah.
about his age and his experience, but you watch practice, I mean, that guy's moving around just as well as some of these younger guys. So it would be a tough player to let go, especially when you're trying to get everybody across the board on offense, especially your quarterback, to take that next step. But, if you can acquire some assets, if there's a linebacker or another position of need that the Vikings have, that could be part of the package too. You could address another need in a meaningful way with a trade of a player of that caliber.
With that being said, if this happens, what is the position of need for the Panthers right now, from your vantage point?
Yeah, look, and I don't know what the Vikings may have available. I don't know what their positions of abundance are where they can afford to let somebody go, but I do think they still need some depth at linebacker, perhaps somebody that can come in and maybe even start. I think they're really thin at that position. You look at safety, I think they're probably fine. They're probably waiting for some younger guys to come up. There's a few. Linebacker to me jumps out right away. But yeah, it's all dependent on what the Vikings might have that the Panthers would be interested in besides draft picks, which you're going to want too.
From a guy that we don't know his future when it comes to the Panthers to a guy his future looks very much certain after it looked for a while that this could be his last season with the Panthers. Taylor Moton, he's a Panther. He just signed that extension, man.
Yeah, and this is a great moment for Taylor Moton, who, if you'll recall, a couple of weeks ago in the middle of training camp at the podium, he was just asked, a question about, going into the season with a contract, discussions hanging over his head, what that would be like. And he got very emotional, surprisingly emotional for how stoic Taylor Moton has been his entire career in Carolina. Wiped tears away as he said how much he loved Carolina, how much he wants to win here in Carolina and deliver a successful playoff season here again. He and JJ Jansen, the long snapper, Nick, they're the only guys around from the 2017 Panthers team that went to the wild card. Taylor Moton cares. He cares deeply. He's been one of the best right tackles in the league for the better part of a decade. He's played 129 games for Carolina, 113 starts. He had a consecutive start streak. That was one of the longest in team history as well. Last year, he missed 3 games. Those were the first games he'd missed in 8 NFL seasons playing the right tackle position. That's also on a lot of teams, Nick, where at the end of the season there wasn't much to play for, but he still got out there and put on the Panthers helmet. So it's a 2-year extension for Moton. It's worth $44 million. 40 of that is guaranteed. And Taylor Moton told us in that emotional press conference, I got another contract in me. So here it is. Perhaps this is the last. He's across 30 years old now. As I've mentioned, he's played for a long, long, long time at a position that absolutely can grind you. but he's still good. And this also allows the Panthers to bookend their tackles here for at least through the 2026 season because left tackle Ike Mekwonu, his option had been picked up after the draft this year. They may look to sign him to a long term extension as well if he starts this season off on the right foot. So this is a big deal. I mean, this is an offensive line that returns the entire starting five and then some from last year when it was one of the most improved, if not the most improved offensive line in the NFL. But Taylor Moton, a guy who had Carolina ties when he got here. Grandparents lived in Gastonia. You can tell how much this place means to him. He means a lot to the Panthers on and off the field. So it was a lot of good feels seeing this get done today.
A position group that outside of Bryce Young and Andy Dalton, like guys, a position group that we don't really talk a lot about. The quarterback position, obviously, again, Bryce Young, Andy Dalton, but what are the chances the Panthers keep a third quarterback? Because we got like a lot, we got a chance to see a lot of Jack Plummer over the last couple of games. We saw Bryce Perkins. Jack Plummer had some happy feet in the pocket last night. Bryce Perkins just, I mean, literally just came off the street and suited up. I mean, are they likely to keep a third quarterback?
They'll definitely keep a third quarterback.
Okay.
That third quarterback is then somebody that goes on the practice squad. Now, there's a
Okay.
few things with that. When you're on the practice squad, you can be picked up by any other team at any time as long as they put you on their 53-man roster. I don't think the Panthers are worried about Jack Plummer getting picked up by another team off the practice squad. He wasn't last year. And you keep that third quarterback around in case there's an injury and somebody that knows your offense, but it's also somebody that can run practice for you as the scout team quarterback, and that is hugely important in the NFL week to week when you're trying to get work done. So I think it'll be Jack Plummer unless it's somebody else from the outside that gets cut somewhere else. Bryce Perkins, I like what he can offer in terms of his game as opposed to Jack Plummer. He was 10 of 11 last night. Wasn't anything deep down the field, obviously. Uh, in fact, somebody said he's having a quiet night, and I said, in comparison to Jack Plummer's last 2 weeks, quiet may be the way to go. Steady may be the way to go. But I don't think Bryce Perkins really was here long enough for them to say, okay, we want him over Jack Plummer. He was here for 4 days. He got here Monday, and by Thursday night, he played the entire second half. It was limited in terms of the package and the playbook they used with him. And in Dave Canales' post-game comments, he really lauded Bryce Perkins, you know, heart and effort to come in here and do this week. It didn't sound to me though like he was going to make the team. So yes, three quarterbacks, not on the 53 though. Practice squad for that third spot.
I only asked that because, Andy Dalton was recently hurt. He got hurt last year. Bryce Young has had some injuries. As you know, you're just like one injury away from your backup or your third string quarterback being thrown into game action.
Yeah, you're two injuries away from a third quarterback. I mean, we saw that with the San Francisco 49ers. We've seen that with the Dolphins
Yeah.
recently, with all the injuries to Tua. In fact, Skylar Thompson, one of those guys, was on the field last night for Pittsburgh. So, it's an interesting call because you want somebody that, theoretically could come in if there's two injuries, but you
Mhm.
want somebody that you can count on being there at practice every week running the scout team. And I think that's kind of what they have in Jack Plummer. I just don't think they're worried about one of the other 31 teams coming in and taking him and then kind of disrupting your week to week workflow, so to speak.
All right, Carboni. 2 weeks from the first game against the Jaguars, I'm feeling good about it. As a fan, you don't have to tell me if you feel good about it. I could tell you, I'm a fan. You're out there reporting, so I don't want to put you in that position, but I feel good about it. So we'll see what happens, man. This is an ongoing conversation that we have around this time about the Panthers, man.
Right. I mean, listen, the Panthers didn't do anything in the preseason, especially not the preseason games where they got outscored something like 69-23. I can't remember the exact number, but it was something like that. They didn't do anything to make you think, oh, yeah, they're clicking on all cylinders on both sides of the ball heading into week one. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Offensively, I think they've got improvements across the board. Like I mentioned, you return the entire starting offensive line plus the depth. You add new weapons. You hope for improvement from Xavier Legette, another jump from Jalen Coker, Tetsuo McMillan being on the same page with Bryce Young. They're still working on that. I think that'll come eventually. I think really week one, Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, as much as you can. And if you can get a lead and try to preserve it and keep running the football, I think that is the key to success in week one as the rest of the offense catches up and hopefully the defense improves from last year as well.
Before I let you go, Carboni, this is the year that Bryce Young could prove that he is the franchise quarterback.
Is this the year? Is
I
that what
mean,
you're asking? Yeah.
hopefully it's year
Oh,
three.
okay. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So yeah, I think that is the year that he needs to go on and do that. I mean, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes got big extensions after their third season. Bryce Young is they're still eyeing that fifth year option for him after this year. I mean, if he has a great start to this season, if he picks up where he left off in Atlanta and he carries that through into somewhere around November, we could start hearing about extension. I think this team, this franchise, this front office still wants to see it. I know fans want to point to the no look touchdown pass at Atlanta and say, that's our guy forever. The Panthers are still in wait and see mode with Bryce Young.
All right, man, I'm gonna get you out of here. Thank you for your time, Carboni.
You got it, buddy.